Where does Zach rank in the NBA as far as wins? Like, we were talking about Zach the other day. Zach has a perception of not being a clutch player. And I brought you the stat about how he's one of the worst in like the last 5 minutes of close games.
Shockingly bad, the stat was.
So what do we judge all players by in every sport? We always judge them. We always count titles, right?
Yeah.
We count LeBron. How many titles does he have? How many quarterback? How many Brady has X amount? Aaron Rodgers has one. And this is where they rank in all. This is how we judge players. How many games have they won? How many titles have they won?
Yes.
Things like that. So is it fair? Let me ask you this. Is it fair to rank players on their wins?
The number of wins the team has?
The number of wins they have in their career.
Okay. No, I don't think so. The same way I think in a lot of ways, quarterback wins, at least in an individual season, can be misleading.
They can be misleading.
Yes.
But over a career, when a player has a winning or a losing record, does it show you that they are a win because of or lose because of player?
I don't think in every instance it can be. I don't.
What about when they're extreme?
Well, when they're extreme, I think you can learn more from it. Yes.
So my friend said to me,
let me give you an example. Like Robert Ory's got 9 rings, right?
Right.
Was Robert Ory a great player?
Well, I don't know if he's got 9. I forget 7. I forget what he's got.
Like Jordan's got 6. Robert Ory's got more than that, right?
Right.
Who's a better player?
Right. Exactly. So, but this is what we do. We talk about rings and then we say, okay, where does he rank as far as a player? And it's used as part of the calculus.
Yes.
So about then career record and like everything like that. So my friend Danny asked me, where does Zach rank as far as winning players in the NBA currently? Where does his record rank? Because he's got to be one of the players in the league that hasn't won a lot.
No, because he came from Minnesota.
Right.
And they weren't perennial winners there.
Right.
And then here they haven't done anything.
And I said, that's a good question. Let me go to, I don't know if there's a way they measure like all the players with wins and losses. So I went to my guy, Jacob Nitzberg from ESPN Stats and Info. And I asked him, and I said, and I used the parameter. I thought this was fair. You tell me. I said, so this isn't more freak where like a new player who may be just only in the league for a year or two. I said, let's make the barometer 500 games played. 500 games played, a lot of games played, a lot of seasons in the league. Yeah. So like just if you got bad luck on a rebuild early in your career, it can't be swayed.
That's a long time in the career.
Long time in your career.
Yeah.
Let's make the minimum games played 500 games in the NBA, current players. Where does Zach Lavine rank win percentage wise? All the players in the entire NBA, every single NBA player currently active in the league.
Who's played 500 games.
Who has played 500 games.
Where does he rank?
Where does he rank as far as win percentage?
It can't be good.
And any guesses? Like good, like where you would top what percent or like how?
I'm gonna say.
Now remember, he's considered he's a max player.
No, I know. I'd say he's bottom 25%.
Bottom 25%. He's a max player who is considered top 30 player in the league. Last year we were considering him a top 20 player.
Yeah.
Tyler, any guesses?
Where he
as far as wins. And if it's fair, is this fair? Is this a fair exercise?
I think it's a super fair exercise because, and again, this is sort of an extreme example here, but you look at LeBron. How many times has LeBron left a team and they go from having 50 wins to like 20, right?
Right.
So he's on one end of the spectrum there. I'm not saying Zach has to be at LeBron level. He's usually on
a team though that has several good players as well.
He does, but you can see how often he elevates a lot. I mean, even like the Heat teams, he still left Wade and Bosch there. So I would guess I don't know. Like he hasn't done.
So Waddle said bottom 25%.
I would probably go like bottom 10%.
Charlie, you have a guess?
Yeah, I was thinking like bottom 15, and I do think it's fair because there's certain styles of play that lend themselves to winning. And I'm not sure that he possesses that.
Okay, this is what I said, what I meant by this stat may either surprise you a lot or not surprise you at all. What if I told you that Zach Lavine, who has played 535 games in the NBA, is the losingest player in the entire league?
Of players that have played 500
games.
The records for his teams.
That there is not a single player who has played 500 games or more
who's got a worse record,
who has a worse winning percentage in the entire NBA than Zach Lavine.
How many guys were on the list? How many? Like, well, so what was the sample size?
And let me now, who were we just talking about before we were talking about Zach being upset?
Vooch.
What if I told you that Vooch is the 5th losingest player
because
in the entire NBA?
I mean, he was with Orlando for years, right?
So now are you surprised when you combine Zach Lavine and Vooch to make up a big three that you have a team who is one of the most underachieving teams in the entire NBA?
No.
Is that fair or not? I'm like, I know there are circumstances. You walk into Orlando and they're a rebuilding team, or you walk into Minnesota and they're a rebuilding team.
Yeah.
But Cat doesn't have this anymore. Cat's not on the list. Maybe he hasn't reached 500 games yet.
Right.
I'm not sure. But the guys on the list, Zach Lavine, 535 games, his winning percentage, 364.
Yeah, that's not good.
He's won 195 games in his 535. He hasn't won 200 games yet in his career. Alex Len is next.
Who?
Now, Alex Len, he's played 584 games. Gorgie Jang has played 618 games, is third. Buddy Hield, who played a lot of games in Sacramento, I believe now on Indy.
Yep.
He is fourth at 530. He's won 212 games. Bad circumstances, Sacramento,
sure.
Indy. Nikola Vucevic, 802 games. He's won 321. He has a winning percentage of 40%. The Bulls have two of the losingest top 5 players in the entire NBA.
I think there are circumstances to this, but I believe the message of your point here is very valid. There are certain guys that play for certain teams that can put up big numbers, but ultimately you don't end up getting consistent winning from their participation.
There are guys who can score, but not win.
Yes.
And like Vooch and Zach are good examples of, I hear Cap and Hoodie say all the time, but Vooch is a walking double-double.
Yeah.
Vooch is also one of the losingest players in his career over his 800 games played. 5th active right now. Again, a lot of players have walked into bad situations in the NBA.
Right.
Zach too, but
look, it's not exact science.
It's not. There's a lot of flaws in all of it, but be the worst.
There is a message to be taken from
it. Does it surprise you? You said top 25 losingest player percentage. He is the losingest
yes,
player.
I am surprised that he's dead last EFL. I am surprised by that.
Zach Lavine has the worst winning percentage of any player
not all
in
his
the
fault,
NBA
but
who has played at least 500 games currently.
Played a lot of those games under Jim Boylan.
I know.
I mean, there are circumstances, but
he went from a rebuilding Minnesota team to then a rock bottom Bulls team. I admit it all, and I still, to a certain extent, am a Zach guy.
Yeah,
not as much as I was at the start of the season. I've lost some stuff from Zach.
I don't think that you win enough games because of him, especially in crunch time, that you should. I think that my anticipation was, especially with better players around him, that his arc was going to continue to move in the right direction and that his game would improve the way it had previously and that he would be a better player than he has been. But they don't find themselves winning games a lot of times because of Zach, especially in difficult moments.
So what does that mean? Is that a fair or unfair stat? 312-332-3776. Like, we wonder, why are the Bulls this many games under 500? Why do they blow all these games to really bad teams when they have DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, and Zach Lavine? Well, two of those guys have become two of the losingest players amongst active players in the entire league.
Yeah, as I said, I think the best way I would describe it is it's not an exact science, but there is a message to be taken from there.
Right. And I continue to believe like Zach is Jay Cutler. Zach, to me, is Jay Cutler. He is the guy that we've always wanted to crown, who has all the tools, who is young, who we've always wanted to become that next great guy, but has just always fallen short.